Fernando Martinez versus Jade Bornea. 12 rounds for Martinez's IBF junior bantamweight title. The battle of two undefeated fighters in their prime. This is going to be a good fight, a heavy amount of volume I am expecting here. Let's get into it. Let's start with the champ, Fernando Martinez. 15 wins, no losses, 8 wins by way of knockout. Man, Martinez, he's a bad boy, man. I mean, he's tough, he's fast, he's confident, he's risky, and does not get tired, right? He's tough to plan for because he throws from everywhere, right? Not to mention that he doesn't throw a whole lot of jabs. So whatever he's throwing is a whole bunch of power shots. He has bad intentions and he's trying to take you out each time. No, literally. The man is trying to take your head off each time. And you would think with all these power shots that he's throwing consistently that he would tire out at some point, that he would slip up on his speed, but I haven't seen it yet. Like the man, he's so consistent throughout the fight. He's always moving, and that's part of his game plan, right? That's part of what makes him so dangerous is because he never sits still. 30 seconds, it might look like he is going to falter, but then the next minute and a half, he's pouring it on and hitting shots from all angles in different variety of ways, man. His conditioning is at an elite level every time that I've seen him fight. The more you watch him, the more you see like he's a champion for a reason, right? He had to earn the belt, right? As they always say, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. And to be a champion, you got to take the belt from the champion. And that's what Martinez has done. When he fought Jullian the first time, when I did a breakdown for that fight, man, I got to be honest, I had never really heard too much about Martinez before. Really had no idea who he was. Right, I had heard the name here and there, but never really paid too much attention to it. But when I was breaking down this fight and I turned on the tape and rewatched some of his fights, I was like, whoa, like this cat is no joke. And just after watching the tapes, man, I was like, I think this guy can beat Akeemkhaynes, right? And that's what happened, right? Because the way how he was making the fight, man, the way how he was fighting, man, you can tell he just had that extra edge to him. He had that confidence, and he was going to take a risk, right? Most cats, they're not always going to want to take a risk unless they're losing on the cards. But I get the sense when I'm watching Martinez that if the opportunity is there, it's a championship fight. I'm going to leave it out every single time. And if a risk is needed in the first round, oh yeah, I'm going to take that risk. And I kind of like that. Right? Akeemkhaynes was someone in that fight who usually is jab heavy, right? And uses his boxing skill to dictate the pace of the fight. But on that night, man, he fought Martinez, and Martinez not for a second let that man get comfortable, right? He didn't let him use that jab that he likes to do, right? He stuck close to him and kept throwing. And the shots, when it did connect, rocked Akeemkhaynes back and just took him off of his momentum and slowed him down each time, right? He was on the back foot a lot because of what Martinez was doing. Every shot Martinez threw was a power punch, right? Akeemkhaynes was stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? Because he couldn't keep him off of him. And when he was on the offense, he didn't want to overcommit and get himself in trouble. So he sometimes didn't even know what to do, but he had to weather some of that storm. Now, the first fight, a lot of people thought that was a fluke, right? But for the rematch, it was the same thing. It was the same similar fight with slight adjustments, right? But Martinez, to me, he looked better in the second fight around because he jabbed a few more times than we usually see him jabbing. And honestly, man, when that man gets going, it's hard to discourage him. I did think Akeemkhaynes in the second fight fought a much better fight, but Martinez's pace right now is just different in this weight class, man. He did get clipped a few times because, again, he's risky. So sometimes he does overcommit and sometimes he does lunge forward. And when he would get clipped, he would just fire back with a power shot of his own, and that would make his opponent a little bit weary, man. So I don't know what type of conditioning that Martinez and his camp have been doing and the work that they do, but man, I could have used some of that when I was running track back in the day. Like, that's for sure. Because what he's doing, man, how well he's conditioned and the consistency and the volume and how he's throwing these punches consistently and not getting tired, Man, it's a will and a spirit about him, man. And I think he's a very, very, very good fighter and a tough champion to beat. But let's talk about his opponent, Jade Bornea. 18 wins, no losses, 12 wins by way of knockout. Okay, this is the first time that I'm hearing about him. It's the first time I'm hearing about Bornea, right? And when I turn on the tapes, man, he looks very Manny Pacquiao-esque, right? With his mannerisms. He moves well, right? It's very bouncy. It's on his toes. He's explosive. He's got good power in the shots. He's got a good jab behind him as well, too. He doesn't have the best head and neck movement. He's kind of stiff on the line, but I think that will come in time. He's still young. He's still developing, but he's got good foundation, man. He's a good fundamental boxer. The more I watch him, the more I see the potential and the talent that he's got. Now, in his most recent fight, he fought Ivan Meneses, who was a bit of a journeyman, right? But with that veteran experience, you know, you got different tactics and you can frustrate your opponent and trick your opponent into sucking them into fighting your fight. Right. But that wasn't the case when Bornea fought him. Right. Bornea got whatever he wanted in that fight. He was in complete control. He was faster. He was stronger. He was sharper. He was more agile. He was just more slicker. And he stopped him within 8 rounds. Now, the stoppage was a little bit strange because Meneses was talking about his back. I didn't really see a shot to the back. But anyway, you know, that was the hit that got him out of there within 8 rounds and never got up from that last shot. But before the stoppage, I mean, Bornea was completely dominating the fight from first round to 8th round. They were all 10-9 rounds, right? So he was in complete control of that fight. I like his poise. I like his confidence. And I like that he takes what's given to him. He doesn't really rush and risk unless he has to. And he's got 12 knockouts. So, you know, he's got some good pop in his shots. He's got good power, accurate, precise, doesn't neglect the head or the body. He is a complete puncher, man. He knows what to do at the right time. However, there were moments when Meneses, man, when he was putting the pressure on, man, he had Bornea fighting off the back leg, man. Right. And Bornea, he stepped back because he was just quicker and his movement was a lot more fluid. Right. And he was able to evade those punches because he was just quicker. But when he was evading those punches, his hands were down. And in that situation, he got lucky because he was fighting a slower fighter, not as explosive. But you cannot back up like that against the more elite fighters and not covering up yourself and keeping your hands down, because those are the shots that's going to take you out. Those are shots that he cannot make those mistakes against Martinez. You got to be on your P's and Q's from the jump, because you know once they step into the ring, Martinez is stepping heavy, full force. So who wins? I'm taking Fernando Martinez to win. I just think Bornea hasn't been tested in a way how Martinez has been tested when he fought Akeemkhaynes, right? And I don't think he's had someone with the type of pressure and consistency and power like a Martinez has that Bornea has faced before, right? I don't know what he's going to look like when he's been pressured from the fights that I've seen. He's handled it well because his opposition wasn't as great, right? So he's going to have to come in locked in with a great game plan, and he's going to know that I have to step with Martinez because he's going to be stepping as well too, but he can't lunge in without a tactical approach. I hope he has to be able to counter, and he has to be able to counter effectively and use some of that power to back up Martinez, because if he doesn't respect your power, man, best believe he's stepping forward and coming forward each time. But at the same time, man, Martinez, prior to him beating Akeemkhaynes, I didn't really know too much of him as well, right? So this is a great opportunity for Bornea to seize the opportunity and to make his name known, to make his name more apparent in this division. But at the same time, man, again, as I said, I just think Martinez has more ways to win this fight, and I think has more will to win this fight as well, too. I think that's an important piece as well. So I got Fernando Martinez winning this fight by decision. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning this one? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App handle will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel, and it will be greatly, greatly appreciated. Man, we got a membership section section on the channel. I don't always get to do all of the suggested videos you guys suggest in the comment section below, but if you become a member, those suggested videos rise to the top, and I will do my best to get those done for you that week and moving forward. Or if you would like to become a member just to support the channel, that would be greatly appreciated as well. Shout out to every member supporting the membership section. Shout out to everybody that continues to like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, and watch. We are almost at 3K subscribers on the channel, so if you know anyone around you that likes boxing, sports, definitely share this channel with them. I appreciate each of you. So with all that being said, if you've been watching the video this long, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll definitely see you next time.